So, thanks for being here. We have Barb Garvey, who's an adjunct faculty at Prescott College, and I'm Noël Caniglia. I'm the chair of the Institutional Review Board. So, I was wondering, Barbara's here to talk to us a little bit about her experience in working with a student in the RDP, the undergraduate program, the residential undergraduate program, and the IRB ethical research experience. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was working with an undergrad student on a senior project, and he had proposed a project that involved other fellow students. And it was presented to us that, okay, you need to go through this internal review board, this IRB. He just, eyes rolled, oh my God, another box to check, a hoop to jump through. And because he was tired, yet he was very eager, very enthusiastic about his project. So anyway, knowing we had to do this, we said, let's see what it is. And we went through the application process. And,
20 questions?
20 questions. It was part of the process. I don't know, you know better than I do how that fits in, but it was formulated so that you had the application process and then there were 20 questions. So he was open to that because it was a box to check. He knew he had to do it. So, okay, let's do this. And we sat and talked about the questions in the application. And it did help him formulate questions in his mind and areas that he wanted to cover.
And
that was the start.
That was the start
yeah,
of it.
Yeah.
And so how did that process look like?
Well, I was thrilled to have a person on that internal review board, and it was you, because you were the chair, and you were very, very helpful and very reassuring to both me as the instructor and the student as the participant, the applicant to the IRB, to make it not as scary, not as institutional as it sounded from the beginning. You were very reassuring to use this as a process. Use it to help inform him about some assumptions he maybe had made or what his reasoning was in terms of setting up the project.
And did he run into any, did he have any issues with it during it, or how did that work?
There were some questions. What does this mean? What does this mean? I want to do this right. What does this mean? So initially, like, okay, I just want to do this right, so I can.
So he could talk to you about that, or you could sort of help him with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And he was reassured, and I was reassured by you that, okay, he doesn't, that he will be interviewed by the board, and it's a friendly group. It was not antagonistic. It was not a punitive gathering. It was going to be just a discussion about his project, and that people were truly interested in his project. So I could pass that reassurance on to him that this is a group of people, all of whom you know, and they're interested in your project and helping you to possibly formulate some of the questions or setup. So I think the process, the entire process itself was very was a positive one.
That's great. Well, I'm glad to hear that, and that's one of the reasons that we're talking. We also are interested in what else that we could do to support instructors.
I think that it ends up being a positive, that it's a requirement. Okay, you have to do this because you're working with a human subject or a living being. This is it's important that the institution feels good about sending its faculty and students out there with amazing, wonderful projects. And this is just a filter through which projects should just be run, or a lens through which they should, the project could be viewing the world and its subjects, and really asking me what I think should be, I guess, in any way, making it more less reviewish and more supportive. I think that came through, but it didn't feel that way in the beginning. It felt
because of the terminology.
The term internal review board, questionnaire maybe itself. Again, going through the process, I think it was a really positive outcome, and the process was really positive. But if you're asking how could it be made better, um, I think the idea of having everyone have to go through it is a good thing, but just less of a big deal, less of an internal review board, and more of, again, a lens through which we at this college, this department, this institution are looking at human subjects. I really liked that.
I wonder, what do you think if the 20 questions were out there before, so that it could be something in other classes or in other mentored situations, so it was just part of looking at.
I think that's a neat idea. And students, as they embark on a senior project of any kind or a master's thesis of any kind, this is a resource that they could use. So in formulating from the beginning, so they're not having to adapt what they've done after the project has been formulated, to have that.
Well, I just, if there's any other questions that you have for us, or anything else that we want to add here, that'd be great.
I've said it before to you, and I think it bears repeating that it was initially the process was, okay, we have to do this. We just have to do it. And the going through it, both for myself and as the instructor and the student as he was fine-tuning his project, it was a really positive thing. It was a really important thing, I think, to have him seeing the importance of dealing with human subjects, and to take these considerations into mind in his design.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming here and being part of this. And as I've told you before, we're hoping that whoever is a part of this ethical research consideration, that now you are part of that whole system. So welcome aboard. Yes.